So you did chun kyo, sliding step punch, step through, diagonal strike, okay, double up, okay, pull back, sink your elbow, back fist, uppercut, 1, 2, 3, sliding step, punch. So this should be sun punch, right? And then punch, right? And turn, sliding step punch, diagonal strike. So catch it right at the wrist, you know, behind, just behind the wrist joint, and then make sure your hand is in line. Yeah. So don't let your wrist do that. Yeah. Because even though the reason why you catch it here is because the impact of the force is here, so you don't want to chop into your own hand with the potential of that force. So you catch it here, just like, you know, gung-kun, same thing. So you're here. So you just, it's a combination of catching for position because the hand is here, and also if you were to grab, that would be what, so it develops a reflex. A reflex that actually you lose as you get older. Infants have it. Infants have the reflex when you touch the hand, it folds. So as we evolve out of infancy, we lose that reflex. So, but that's what it is. When you know when to close your hand, then you have to time it, unless there's sensitivity, right? So this like in third form, you have that movement where you catch the elbow. So that's that. When you're here, that's that. When you do 5 images, that's that. So all of those are just sort of developing a feeling of grasping. Yeah. So see how your wrist is? Yeah. So you just catch just behind here. But you see that? Yeah. Yeah. And then here. And then tuck your thumb. Yeah. No, it is to the corner. It's just that I was, yeah, it's to the corner, yeah. Yeah, so it's here where the knee is, like that, in the direction of the knee. Yeah, because your knee is here, right? So, right, and then here, right? So when you're in a gung-kun, when you do this, it's in the direction of this knee too. See, it's not out there. Yeah, and then you do your double up, double block, lift. Yeah, then lean a little bit, good, and then elbow. Yeah, then yep, pull back. Yeah, and then back fist. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Then sliding step, twist. Yeah, so if you go 1 twist, 2, 3. So when you do this uppercut, it's the back fist is like this, the backhand. 1, 2, see. So it's not 1, 2, and it doesn't end up here. It's 1, 2, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So this way, at least the wind up 2, 3 here, here, here. See, so it allows you to twist and turn. Yeah. Yeah. So even though the hands are just doing that, you have to engage it here, here, and here. So your leg is actually, you know, you're involved with it too. Okay. So double back fist, 1. Then you start to wind up 1, 2. Don't forget the backhand. See, this is a strike too. So when you go up, this goes back. So you have to focus on both sides. But one side, this is your lift, but you're striking here. 1, 2, 3. You see? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So there's more balance. If you don't put power on the back side, it's not connected. Then it becomes just a forcing of that uppercut. But you want to turn into, then your stance should be, so your front foot can be a little bit back more. So your knee is over your toe. Yeah, yeah. You can actually come forward a little bit more. No, not the foot, the ankle. Leave your ankle, fold. Yeah, yeah, more. Yeah, to your, yeah, that's, yeah. Huh? No, yeah. That's the right now, yeah. It should be more. Yeah, so it should be more. Even more, yeah. Yeah, then you get, now you feel it in your front thigh.
My knees.
When you're here, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So this leg, this leg takes the abuse. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, ready? Go. Ha! Forward, forward, forward. Get the knee, project. Get the knee forward. Relax the ankle. Relax, more. Little more. That's it. Yeah. And turn. Yeah. Yeah. So you have a little bit of action on the back side too. So if you put your hand here, right? No, right here, right? So here, come here. Huh? Right? 1. See? So you have a force on the backside. Yeah. Punch again. Yeah. Turn the body sideways. Yeah. Look here. Yeah. Sink down in the stance. Yeah. The whole hips. Yeah. Shoulder this way. Yeah. You see? If you hit like this and you're not in your position, before you even hit, you're off balance. This is a focus, it's just like a pendulum. And then from here, you take your step, boom. Take your step, turn. Yeah, good. So it's fundamental as this. You have to get that to happen, you know, when you're doing your forms normally. Because if you practice it without actually putting your knee forward, your body doesn't recognize that that's where it's supposed to be. So if we're creatures of habit, your habit is programmed into the wrong place. So it's always going to be off. And then when we fix it, it goes back, resorts back to the original way because it's been, you know, conditioned like that. So that's what habits are. So we have to kind of at least realize that if we're not going into the stance, it's because we haven't done it enough for it to know. So muscle memory is more than just, you know, the final position. Transitionally, you have to get into that final position. So that mechanism to get you there has to be built too. So that's your transitional memory. So there's a muscle memory in that side, and that's a sequential memory. And sequential meaning like in the order that it happens. So, you know, sequential memory is more than just the form sequence. That's like memorizing words. You know, you just memorize it based on, you know, what you've picked up. So that's kind of part of the visual learning. Then when you get to the technical learning, that's what you have to train your body to do. You know, so I mean everything is like that as far as spatial positioning. You know, when you first swing a tennis racket, or you know, whatever you're swinging, you don't know actually what's going on. It's kind of reaching, you're out of position, and then finally you're doing that. So when you're doing this, that's all you're doing. Your stick, right? When you're doing this, if you take a tennis racket, you pull here, and then you swing up like that, it's really taking your sword, right? You take a step, and you come up. If you turn it, if you're coming across like that, that's just the face of the racket in a direction. But if you stop it here without turning the body, it's going to go there. So you have to hit it and then turn. And then when you turn, it carries it through. And where does this go? Goes here. Right? Just like your hair goes here. Why? Because this is where your leg is. So there's, when you're using body mechanics and positioning to strike something, it's all the same. Doesn't matter if you're hitting a ball or hitting a person. You still have to get the target and the power and the motion. Right? Even in your, kayaking, if you don't get the stroke at the right place and complete it, it's not going to create the efficiency of the projection forward. So if you do it halfway, you're going to get a motion forward, because the action is equal and opposite, and it creates that balance. So how you turn, if you're just doing this and not doing this, then you're not going to get the complete motion. So the same applies when we do this. If we just do this, then we don't have the power here. Right? So it's really, while we do this, we really don't need to put a whole lot here, because this is going to create the action. Then that comes up here. If I create this action with the uppercut and nothing here, then this then doesn't create. So use the backhand, and it'll translate into your front hand. So you try that, see how it feels. Because part of learning is the feeling. So if it feels like there's power on the back side, you're going to feel power on the front side. Right? Yeah. Yeah. So Paul, in your case, right, you got power on the front side, but you don't have structure on the front side. Because once you do this and you start to go like this, then you lost the structure and integrity of this, because it's reaching. So when you do an uppercut in the front, what do you have to do? You have to sink the elbow. You see the power when you sink the elbow. If you let your elbow not go down, then your movement becomes this, and what you're doing, you're forcing it with this. There's no power in that, because the law of diminishing returns. When you go up, it keeps going up, but it's tensing here, but the thing is, there's no power there. The power is here and then here, because the elbow is in the right position. Right? Yeah.
Form this and sort of maintain that position.
No, happens as an action. It happens as an action. Yeah. So a summation of components, this is not a summation. Once your hand's like this and you're going like this, that's not a summation of components, that's tension. Summation of components, boom, 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 boom. So this is here, sink here, come to here. Now, if you think about the balance between movement, this is sinking, it's straightening. This is straight, this is sinking. That's a balance, right? Right? You follow me there? Right? Sinking, open. Straight, sink. If you go straight, it looks like this. If you're both bent, it looks like this. You see how that's double weighted and double action doesn't, it's not compatible, it won't look right. So if you go like this, so then you can see. So from the viewer, from the outside, they can see that. On the inside, that when you're doing it, can you feel it? If you can't feel it, that means your body doesn't recognize it. Right? So that's part of learning. And when you do it, you have a certain feeling. So when you chow. So when I let my arm go, I just let it go. It's just free falling. Here, intense. Here, intense. So that's sort of like an exaggeration of what happens, but that's essentially what would happen in your motion. So you chow. All your uppercuts are like that. When I step up like this, first form, right? Second form. Aren't you bent and then bent, straight and then bent and then straight? Your legs do the same thing, right? You're bent, then it's straight, and you bend. So that's a relationship. So that relationship is throughout your body. So if my knee is here and I do this, This one straight, that one straight, this one bent, this is bent. Turn, turn. Now, you don't actually do this. You don't do that. You do this. You use your waist. Yeah. See, you
One side more natural, the other side's a little weaker, right? This side is stronger. This is
well, see, in order to make this one stronger, to balance it, because they will be balanced, it's because the body is turning a little here from the waist. Now, if you just did this and there's no turn, then there's no connection either. If you just go like this, there's no legs. If you go like this, then you have leg, but then at the same time, you have to rise, relax, and fall. And then it's like that. Right? So you can see, a simple thing like that is you have to kind of experience, yeah. So do that again, sliding step and punch, right? Yeah, so your shoulder should be down, right? Don't, I exaggerated, but that's what's happening. Because your punch should come from here. So in order to improve your punch, if the shoulder goes up, what you have to do is before you punch, relax your shoulder. Then it'll be down. If you're about to punch and then you don't relax your shoulder or sink the shoulder, then your shoulder's going to go up because it becomes part of that movement. Whereas if you go like this, sink your shoulder, boom, then it comes out from there. Right, you see. So sinking, yeah, you have to sink your elbow and then let the hand come. Because in the downside, it's going to be relaxed. On the upside, you have conflict. But you don't realize the conflict because it's a physical thing. The conflict comes in more naturally as you sink. Here, boom, comes out. Sink, comes out. So you can see, some people will do that. So these are just things that you may not notice that's happening. So that's a very basic thing. So we have punches throughout the form. Make sure we get those shoulders relaxed and the elbow down. Yeah. So you got the arm, fix the legs, yeah. So even though we're in the stance, right? And it feels like it probably feels kind of off balance, right, in there, because you got tension on the back leg. Only the front leg should have the root. The back leg is actually a little bit more pliable. If you don't allow that and you just tense, then you're going to be unstable. Yeah. So you don't have to turn it back, but you should be here so that it gives with this. So on this side, when I shoot this hand up and it comes up, I'm on the front leg. This one goes to back. So this would feel powerful, like Paul was saying. But in order to compensate for the weakness here, because you have no back leg here. See, when he does the first upcut, right? Do your first upcut. So you see this and this, right? So he does the first uppercut, supported by the front leg and the back leg. The second uppercut, it doesn't feel supported in the backside if he doesn't turn, if he did like this. So this doesn't feel supported. So he has to turn a little bit, sink here and come here. So now, because you're driving it from here and here and here. So even though the leg is not moving so much, you change your torso configuration. It's spine, yeah, in the mid back. So you have to turn here. Yeah, yeah. So when you do that, right? Okay, you do that again, yeah. The second one, up, yeah. So you don't want to be there. You want to be here. Yeah. If you're, yeah, yeah. If you're here. See? Still here. So you're here. Yeah. So, yeah. It's this. it's this that comes to here. You see what I mean? Because if you don't turn and you stay this way, then even though you're here, it's not. There's a void there.
Yeah.
So even Muay Thai Kun, you're like this. So your stance can't be too wide like this. Because the stance is actually the foundation of your movement. You know, some styles Tai Chi, they do the pushing, the brush knee like this. This is actually too wide. So there's no support. The only good thing about a wide stance like that is if you're leaning into your opponent, but you can't save yourself once there's nothing there. So you fall into it. So some styles end up from here, so they end up, but you actually have to be here. Then this is your transition leg and your support. So you're moving always. So here's the same thing. It has to go there. It has to go there. It has to go here. So that's the fundamental triangles, lean position, the bow stance with the body form, and that full hawk, tiger claw, everything would fall in that. Now this one, and this one in Logakun would be the same body form. Otherwise, if you're like this, then you're actually not stable. See? So that's why when we're here, and you cross, you turn, you step up here, then you're like this. So the line actually goes through here, like the northern styles. The northern style, if you notice, is the front leg, right, and the front palm. It's not offset. If you're offset, then there's no alignment of the position. The movement comes from here, so it has to come to here, or bang bu when you're here, right? You turn like this. You don't go in and punch like this. You have to turn like this to get the power in the position. So, yeah. So if you square completely, yeah. So then if you extend, if you close it, you can feel that. Now this. Now just turn a little bit, right? Now. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. So yeah. That's the alignment of the body. So those things will teach you the natural strength. The structure. Things, shapes, in space really have a natural geometry. And then when you move, you have to find those positions when you're getting to them. So here, this one, because this one is square because of this side, and this one is here. But when you come in, now if you do the phoenix eye position, yeah, it's a little bit different because, yeah, so this is here, and then this is like this. Then it's supported by the back leg. When you extend like this without turning, then it's different.
How far you extend it? You extend it like that.
Yeah, you have to. So the lengthening of this has to create that line. When you're like this, because you're in a triangular position like this, then this is because you can change your position by your shoulder. Because this and this.
So is it a function of distance person in the sense that for a close-in movement, I don't even have the space to extend, but if I'm trying to extend more, can I get that reach by turning?
Yeah, so the extension of that movement, like you would, this is just form. Yeah, in application, you wouldn't want to do that anyways, overreaching. So form and function, there's form for alignment of body, but in function, you would do this. If you were to go like this, the movement isn't really this, it's turning. So it helps to drive the force because now you're not relying on that. But
if you're close in,
yeah.
you have the space to turn. It doesn't seem like you necessarily. It seems you could just throw it from here with a bit of.
Yeah, so it depends on your target. If I'm here, then I'm here. If I turn, it would still elongate.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So if I'm here, I'm here. If I elongate, it would still go because I'm turning. Now this is a total side view position. And this is the retraction. So this is the withdrawal. So when drawing, you don't want to be here to withdraw. You want to withdraw to your center and then come out from here, you see. Now if I come out from here and I'm here, but then I have to
That's what I was asking.
I have to turn to create that space and position.
Being close, whether you did this or this, it's more a question
Yeah.
of the distance and you're turning.
Right. So, well, the turning, the elongation is the body. It's like this is short, even though it's long, elongated, but that's the alignment. This is not supported. This is supported. So the elongation of motion is a transition to elongation. Your body turn. Like if I'm here and I'm here, that elongated, but it was a function of my turn. So that's why we're doing this and this, because if I block and I punch here, I have to reach. And then this one will be there because my body turned back to it. So that's why we, this punch is actually reaching, but you can reach your opponent on a low level when they're coming, higher. So that's what it's for. Now this is also the idea. I come with a straight punch. He punches me, I punch him, right? But if I turn like this, then my punch will go in and it'll deflect his punch. You see what I mean? So the punch is like this. So that's, simultaneous block strike. You don't even have to deal with it, you're here. See? So I'll be there without actually, having to deal with that. But actually what happens is, I'm here, I'm turning here. This would probably come here, so that's why your hand has to be up. See? Here. See? So here. 1, 2. That's where a sun punch turns to a flat punch. Or when you're here, a back fist does that. So you're intercepting here and then coming down here. So you turn. The force is here. If the force, you're not doing this, that's what a lot of people think. Back fist, you're going to go like that. But actually it's here and then here. Because it's dimensional change. So whenever we do quad chui in the corner, it should be like this. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. In kungfu, we're 1, 2, 3. So in the form, as a form action, it's 1, 2. So this comes back. In application, 1, 2. It stays. Because the turning of this motion creates the right-left motion, the centrifugal action there. Because if he punches to here and I block, that's going to follow with the punch. I didn't turn completely. So from here, this is intercepting. This becomes this. You see? So here, so 1, 2, 3. You see? That comes right from here. So you turn back like that. Then you're here. See? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. So that's what that is in Fuhak. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. You see? 1, 2. There's your reach. There's your change. See? So for every action there's a equal opposite reaction, and there's also a, sort of a linkage, that's a relationship. So we don't just block it and then punch, block it and punch. You block it, it becomes the motion that takes you to the next position. So there's no wasted motion essentially, right? So, yeah. So when we're like this, when we turn, this is actually not quite vertical. It's kind of coming in like this. Because when you're in a kwa chui and we're like this, it goes out, right? This can turn here, this can turn here. So that's using your body form to create the action. So all you do is have to sink the elbow. Right? When you do an uppercut, you don't have to lift. Lifting is curling, right? Uppercut is sinking. You know, because once you sink, see if I'm here, once I sink, then the power comes up. So I could use my legs. See, I sink, then it comes up. Up, up. So that becomes, so you don't need this. You don't need to do this. That's bicep strength. This is striking strength. So they're two different. It looks the same, but when I'm here, all I did was tighten my fingers. But you can feel the strength in the front of the forearm. See, if you put your hand on my forearm here like this, oh, maybe just put your hand here, right? So, which way? This way, like this. So if I go like this, this is strength, right? But you can feel that, right? You can feel this. So if I sink, you can feel strength, and this is this kind of strength. This is that. So between this and this, all you do is feel like this is pressure here. Whereas when I go like this, you don't have strength.
Yeah.
Right? Right? The change of direction and the change of intent of what your forearm is doing. So when I come like this is what creates the position, not this. That becomes a physical action, and all you're doing is that. But you're here. So you sink and then the intensity. So once you have strength here, then you have strength here. But this is down, this is a downside. This is the upside. You see, the upside is lift. And then the structure is created. Yeah, so that's why when we say don't use as much strength, you have to find the correct strength. So when we're doing this, we're finding the type of strength we're using as a maneuver rather than just forcing the motion. Because when you're here, you sink, adjust. So you move. Right? Then you're here. You don't need strength to get to here. You just have to direct it from here. Yeah. So where's the here? When it gets to here, see, she pushes in, right? Then when it gets to here, you're pushing, right? It's here. You just have to, it's just like that. So it comes close to the body, it's here. But I want to turn. Now it goes that way. So because there's a connection between what moves it there and what maneuvers it there. So that's what a transition is. When you're here and we move to the side, and then we move to center, we push. So when I get to here, what do I have to do? I have to sink my elbow and relax the shoulder. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. So every time you sink your shoulder, your power is going to come up. Chun kyo, sink your shoulder, punch. Sink my shoulder, push. Sink the elbow. So fourth form, 1, 2. 1, sink here, comes up. Sink here, comes up. Tiger claw, sink here, comes up. Here, turn, sink. So it's so important to get this in position before you do this, because the elbow dictates direction. So on the downside it's this, on the upside it's this. Right? So once your elbow's in position, then it's a matter of turning your body into the right direction, because once I'm here, it's going to turn that way. If I sink like this, it comes to here. If I turn like this, I sink to here, because this is where my core is, my center, my leg. Now if I just do this without moving my leg, then I actually don't have a structure. So what do I have to do? I have to do this. I have to shift. So this actually is doing nothing but recreating that structural alignment. When I'm here and I shift, until I get it here, I have no strength. So this is the transition until I get to here. So someone's leaning, when you're like this, you have to shift to get that position. Then you come back. It's all tied to your torso. So sink the elbow and then create your stance at the same time. You're here. See? So that's the kind of timing we're trying to build as a upper-lower coordination. So that happens here, but what about this? Between and this. This stroke is the foot. The back stroke is the heel. The heel. The hook. The foot does this. Yeah. Mm-hmm. See, if his front foot is forward, just say you're right. When you hook here like this, there's no strength. It's not till you pull becomes a strength. Your hook comes here, then it becomes a disruption. When your foot comes here, don't do this, it becomes that. That's your disruption. So the strength in the heel and the strength in the hook. Hook. Yeah, so that's cow. When you do this, that's a hook. The strength is in that direction. Then, so it comes all the way down to your soles of your feet. That's why when we do these pivots, or these pivots, it's another control factor. When you use your heel, it's a control factor. Aha, light bulb. So when we do our exercises, it's not just, you have an intent in the movement. When you so when you do boom, 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 this is training for that. Because when this goes back, this has to do that. So when this sweeps like this has to do that. So where do you figure that out? It's figured out from your kicking drills. When you do your 10 kicking. Minor, yeah. So this, if he's got a front foot forward and I kick into sweep, and he picks his foot up. So he picks his foot up, and then that would come back. The hands. This, if he throws a punch, this hand comes here. It's like that. So here. Yeah. And this is really, this is pulling, this is pushing. So it's an opposite action. But and then when you're here, the elbows are down. When you're here, because your elbows are down, it just comes from here. So a lot of times, actually, some people are doing it too high, because if you go high, it's harder to use because it's like this. So you're better off when you're here, when you sweep and you lift it up from here, because this is where your strength is. So because it's like this is the form to practice this. When you're here, if I sweep, I'm actually here. See? Because you really can't do like that. You have to be in here, in the chest, yeah. And disrupting from the body, because here. Yeah. So from here. And I have this control of this. When I have him against the body, then I'm here, see? Right. So even here, then, yeah. So it's 2 stages of breaking the opponent's center.
Some techniques you reach behind the neck.
Yeah, so that's more like this.
And then there's one you can cut this.
Well, that's
We're just ratcheting it up.
I was straight it out here.
no,
That's a setup, I think.
yeah, that's more like this. And then that's here, yeah. So you use this to here, and then when you pull the head, that disrupts here, and then you kick here, yeah. So this doesn't work either. You have to sink the elbow. Yeah. Then you pull back.
This one here.
Yeah, chun. Yeah. It's good you use a block too, see? So that's just like, oh, it's part of a cutting hand. All right. Cutting hand, cut, cut. Right. So cut is like this. See, when we look from the side, a cutting hand is only this. Right. If my hand's on this side, it's like this. If I'm on this side, it's like this. Right? So in Fu Hawk, we have this. In Gung Kun, we have this. So here's like that, and thrust. Right? If my hand is here, then it's like this. In the third form, you have this. So the third form, sink, lift, kick. Or avoid. But the separation of the hand, this is here, using that. But because I'm moving away like this, I'm moving this way, you see. So I don't really need to put a lot of this, because if I do this, then I'd be like that. So all I have to do is when I cut is to move. See. So this takes me over to here, and then I can lift the knee, or the knee's already up, and then I can do the knee kick like that. So it comes like this. And then that would do damage to the knee, you see. So when you step, step, step. Just okay, we'll bow. Right? Now that the pandemic's over, you got to watch out for the